You know, traveling with you has been more than just good old-fashioned fun. It's been, well, therapeutic. That's fair. And honestly, that's the part that I actually need help with the most. That's just a fact. Which brings me back to that plan I mentioned earlier. I think I know how to move forward now. But I'm going to need your help. My contact sent a gift. Seems real to me. So they found an insurance settlement. Irvin's employers got paid as compensation for sabotage. It seems that the mining company got a huge payout after they won the case against Irvin. We have the settlement paperwork from their insurance. Tons of money. Oh, also the cyber runner had to move on to other work, but sent me a passcode to some computer system. I'm not sure what it goes to yet. We can just hold on to it until we figure it out. But anyway, we have enough to move forward. The missing piece here is proving that Irvin was framed. So I discovered that Irvin's original lawyer still practices law, and she'll look over everything we found. Oh, detective. I like the sound of that. If I'm the detective, does that make you my trustworthy and sensible partner with a heart of gold? Well, I can work with that. Detective Barrett at your service. Anyway, we should take everything to the lawyer and see what she says. Maybe she reviews it and decides we have no case, or we need more evidence. I don't know. If we don't have a case, I can probably let it go. But I have to try. Fantastic. I knew I could count on you. You're as reliable as an atomic clock. I've sent a list of everything we found so far to the lawyer in Gagarin. You know, I actually feel optimistic about this. Lead the way, detective. Gagarin has always been a bit of a pit in my stomach. I know it wasn't related to Irvin's death, but I was just thinking that this is about what Irvin saw all those years ago when he arrived. He probably stood here thinking that he was going to make things better. He had a good heart. Oh, you remind me of him sometimes, wanting to make things right. And when you said it out loud, you know, I actually believe we can do it. I just hope our lawyer is as confident. Right. She said she would meet us at our office when we arrive. Hopefully she can tell us what we need to do in order to clear Irvin's name. Let's stick together, though. Gagarin isn't a huge town, but it's not the kind of town that I want to get lost in.
Gagarin's not an easy place to live.
Trade may not look like much. Plenty on offer.
Ellie's law office, back to the case.
Taking in the collection may not be the
I heard the story about. Well, well, well. Barrett, you're actually here. Astounding.
Ellie! Ellie, come on. I promised we'd stop by, didn't I?
People make promises all the time, Barrett. And most folks try to avoid Gagarin, not visit it. Anyway, I'm glad you made it out here. We have work to do, don't we? Down to business. Perfect. What do you already know?
So we already know that Irvin worked for Hephaestus Mining Company years ago, and they blamed him for catastrophic economic and ecological issues here on Gagarin.
Yes. He lost his case because he didn't defend himself, and we had almost no evidence without him. Well, we can bring the case to a judge here if we have new evidence or a witness.
What about the evidence we found so far?
Yes, well, about that. It's just not enough. In order for me to go before a judge, I'd like to have some solid evidence pertaining to motive. Yeah, we need something major. Documentation, recordings, a witness, something.
It's been so long. How could we find anything like that?
I've thought about this a lot since the original case. The mine that Irvin worked at was shuttered in 2309. They probably still have documents relating to whatever happened there with him. That's where you come in. I don't know which mine he worked at when the incident took place. In theory, you could find that information on a Foundry terminal, if you can access it. You'll need a passcode. That's the hard part. Besides the Foundry records, there also might be something in Irvin's apartment. If he knew he was being framed, he might have held on to some documents there.
I'm not much of a cat burglar, but I do have a cat suit somewhere, now that you mention it.
That is definitely not necessary, Barrett.
Dress for the job you want, not the job you have, right?
Good grief. As a lawyer, I cannot condone any use of criminal activity in the procurement of our evidence. Having said that, I have heard that there are terminals in the Foundry that can be accessed with passcodes. And I happen to know that miners always have passcodes on them. Do with that information as you will. Hopefully, that's enough to work with for now. If you'll excuse me, I have to get some court documents ready for this case.
The Foundry District isn't too far from here.
I remember watching shiny new mechs rolling on the ship.
Here, use this key. After you, Captain. Now I get why he wanted me to look after his plants. No windows, insufficient power for proper lamps. Oh, he must have been miserable. No wonder he wrote so much. Wait a second. What about this safe? I bet it's locked by a terminal. Well, I'll be. If you ever doubted Irvin's genius, look at all this. Still chugging along 20 years later. Hold on. Is that what I think it is? Aha! Will you look at that? If we go to Town Hall, I bet we can get a copy of that hunting license. There's gotta be a way to look up applications. Click. You got it. I feel like we're really making good progress here, you know? There's gotta be a way to look up applications. I have something for you. I feel like we're really making... Thought you'd never ask. Here, all yours. Very interested to see this.
I know.
You ever read about the early history of spaceflight? So political. So familiar sometimes.
Smells like this. Hey, what's
You should check in with Belly soon, after we visit Town Hall.
You're back. Well, what did you uncover?
We got it from Town Hall and everything. It's the real deal.
I see. This sort of thing works well for the narrative of our case, but we will need more evidence to bring it to a judge.
We're on it, Ellie. Don't worry.
Well, I like the sound of that. Okay, now that is a solid lead. Well, don't let me stop you while you're on a roll, detectives. We can talk more later.
You don't need to be a botanist to know Harvey's probably thirsty. 20 years is a long time to go without.
I'm sorry, but if this isn't directly related to my medical business, we should...
Haven't seen you in the mines before, you know? Friend, I don't get paid to chit-chat about work. That information is confidential. I'd like to think so. So listen, you can use my employee passcode to access that foundry terminal over there. I'll just say I lost it somewhere.
Impressive.
Next time I'm going to take a nap on top of a building, nobody ever looks up there.
Lost? The trick to the catwalks just... Keep turning right. You'll get where you're going eventually. Was it left?
Coordinates look valid to me. Imagine Irvin thinking the same thing all those years ago. Just a job, right? Well, at least we know where to keep looking, right? I guess we'll see what state the mine is in. It's possible they collapsed it before they left. We just won't know until we get there. If that's the case, we'll just have to figure something out.
Are you selling something or what? I'm not buying.
Careful. This place was shuttered 20 years ago. Looks like they left a lot of stuff intact when they shuttered this place. I wonder if they were in a hurry or if it was just cheaper to replace it. Ah, you're awake. Let's get going, shall we? Surprise! No guns. We aren't using it anymore, so why not? This looks promising. This looks like administration. Company records. Bingo. All right. Now let's go find Irvin and Helgi's lab stations. Ah, yes. That sort of internal structure is common to biological organisms like that. Was the destruction of the bacterial colonies, not the apex predators. So, they ruined the ecosystem here. This is it. Seems like Helgi tried to do the right thing here. I'm sure Ellie would want to see this. He's citing numerous ethics violations dating back before. Creatures have so much in common everywhere we go. Yet they are so different.
Man, could I use a vacation? Hey, keep your eyes open.
Ellie! Hello?
Welcome back, detectives.
Ellie, I sent you all the data from the mine already. As I'm sure you know.
Yes, I've been reviewing it. Sit down. Let's have a chat about it. Welcome back, you two. How was the trip to the mine?
You're gonna love this, Ellie.
Okay, someone better tell me. Come on.
We found the coordinates to Irvin's old work site and went there. Huge battle. Fire, explosions. Pew, 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 pew.
Barrett, please.
You should have seen the plants in there, too. Weird stuff. Anyway, you read over the documents we found there, right? What do you think?
What you both found in that mine is remarkable. These documents show that the chemicals released by the mining process contaminated the ecology even before Irvin was tasked with removing the predators. And they also show that Helgi informed Hephaestus of the issue, and it was repeatedly ignored. And with that, I think we've got ourselves a case, my friends.
Yes! That's what I wanted to hear, Ellie. Woo!
Yes, but it's still likely to lose. Because what we really need now is Helgi as our witness, and that is a problem. I'm glad you're taking it in stride. It's just, for a case with this much science, we need the man who wrote the claims to back them up. Maybe even explain it in layman's terms. You might ask Dr. Kayala. She checks up on folks who fall through the cracks sometimes. You'd have to convince her to tell you where he is. That might be hard.
Sounds like we're making a stop at the med clinic. We'll be back when we convince Helgi to be a witness.
Listen, if he refuses, then he refuses. Can't force him.
Yeah, we don't want to press him too hard. The last thing we need is him refuting what he wrote. This is going to take a light touch, but I think we can handle it.
If there are any mining jobs on Mars these days. Put up with some dust.
Most of these corporate clowns won't.
Find something?
I'm not supposed to run on the walkways anymore.
Probably never intended for these walkways to last this long.
I hate it when the walkways creak.
Is there something I can help you two with?
Do you happen to know Dr. Helgi Hawkson? We're trying to get his help with something.
Sorry, who are you exactly?
We're detectives. Self-taught and unaffiliated. Freelance detectives. With the emphasis on the free part.
Wait, what? Detectives? Sorry, I don't think I know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, I'm not a tour guide. You'll have to ask somebody else.
We're trying to help him. And Gagarin, actually.
It's expensive shipping things out here. And we were just told that one of our shipments will be another week late.
Is there anything you need? We can help.
Well, I could use a couple units of Adachrome. Whatever you could spare. I'm eating into our emergency supplies here. Thanks. I'd appreciate it. Maybe 3 of them if you can. If it's patient medical records you're after, I'll remind you, I'm not at liberty to discuss that.
We're thinking of taking Hephaestus to court with Dr. Hawkson as a witness. Now, given his situation, we're worried the defense might cast aspersions on his character, even question his mental health.
That's unfortunate, but not surprising. Look, if he agrees to testify and grants me permission, I could vouch for his well-being.
Thanks, Doc. If he does end up testifying, we'll definitely need you for the trial. Ellie Yankton will be in touch.
No promises, given patient confidentiality, but I'll do my best. Of course. Here's what I have. I need to get back to my work now, if you don't mind.
Doctor, wasn't there something your clinic needed? I can't remember.
You again? Friends of Dr. Hawkson, right?
We're trying to help him. And Gagarin, actually.
Ellie's a good person. That bodes well, but I can't violate my oaths. I'm sorry. Listen, I can say that Helgi took up a job working at Clint's store just down the way. I saw him there stacking boxes the last time I picked up an order. I've got to get back to my work here, so if there's nothing else... I need to get back to my work now, if you don't mind.
Don't mind them. Trade in a little bit of everything here. Except mechs. Too old to be dealing with that black market stuff. Let me just bring that up. Taking in the collection? Quite.
Funny you ask, because I'd like to know too. He owes me a sizable debt. Yeah, I don't want to be mixed up with anything like that.
Is this really what we're doing? Calm down. I'm still thinking about it.
All right, fine. I don't know where he is, but ask Lizzie up at the bar. She knows everybody. You sure you got the right person? Helgi and I have had several run-ins in the past. Me? Borrow from Helgi? Not that I recall.
We just need someone to serve as his character witness. Given your long-standing reputation in the city.
Sure, I can say a few words. I like Helgi, but fair warning, I'm not gonna lie for him. If I'm testifying under oath, it'll be full of the good and the bad.
Wouldn't expect anything less.
Folks on Gagarin? We just want to be left alone.
Looking for a drink? Don't serve anything fancy, so if you're about to ask for wine spritzer or whatever, you can hop right back on your ship to New Atlantis. Well, then make yourself comfortable. And don't start anything, all right? Ah, yes. The detectives. I heard about you.
A reputation already? I'm impressed.
Slow news day, I guess. I serve drinks here, friend.
We were told that you are a local crime.
We serve drinks here. Here's a list of our specials for today.
There's nothing on here.
Oh, that's strange. Here, let me fix that. Don't worry, it's just the one sale today.
Oh, right. Of course, it's a number. Here you go, Captain. All yours.
The service I provide is worth quite a lot. Don't think I'm desperate or anything, but you do have a point. Sorry, but I can't. Don't get bent out of shape. I'm glad you understand the position I'm in here. All right, all right. Consider it a favor. Sending the coordinates now. Wait, so let me get this straight. You want the bartender to testify he's not a lousy drunk? All right, I'm no lawyer, but seems like a bad move. Also, it sounds like work. And I don't work for free.
If it's about creds, you might earn a lot of brownie points with the locals if you helped with that. Points they'd spend at your bar.
As long as I'm still alive to spend it. But fine. If you get Helgi to show up, I'll take some of the heat off of him. Happy to take your credits anytime.
I was thinking about going for a hike outside the canyon.
I don't suppose you're here to tell me I've won a ticket to a new planet, huh?
Sorry, Doctor. Not today. We came to Gagarin to investigate Irvin Mandani's contract with the mining company a long time ago. Ring any bells?
Irvin, yeah. Biologist. Hunter. Yeah, I remember him. Why? Who are you people? Then find the history slate. An ancient history slate. Because that's what it is.
Please. Irvin was once one of your colleagues. He was the one Hephaestus blamed for an ecological disaster about 20 years ago. Do you remember any of that?
No, I don't remember lies. He passed on. That's a kick in the pants, isn't it? Well, sorry for your loss and all that, but I can't bring back the dead or anything. So you can go now. Thanks.
Look, I know this is strange. We show up out of the blue about things that happened decades ago. But right now, nobody save us knows the truth. And that means we're the only ones who can clear Irvin's name.
Then Irvin should have showed up at the trial to defend it himself.
It's not just about Irv. This can't be the only time something like this has happened. Someone needs to hold this company accountable. That's why we'd like you to testify in court.
Testify? The trial is over, the verdict rendered. In case you two clowns didn't get the memo. Ellie Yankton. But why? It doesn't matter. Nothing's changed. I cannot do that. Why is this so hard to understand here? He was a good man. I didn't know him long, but I knew that much. Damn right it does. I just didn't think there was a way to challenge them. You got a point. Hephaestus' scientists will just say my theories are unfounded without me to defend them. that who you're with? You do look like a beefy lot. Fine, you've convinced me. I'd be willing to testify on one condition. I want to know what happened to Irvin. Because when he disappeared, let's just say I had an epiphany. Hephaestus didn't need to say a word. That's when I knew the threats against me and my family were real.
Dr. Hawkson, it wasn't Hephaestus that took Irvin's life. It was the war. Irvin was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Caught in the crossfire.
Then I am sorry for your loss. It won't change the past for either of us. But I will testify. And maybe, wherever Irvin is, you'll be glad that we can finally stick it to those assholes at Hephaestus.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah, don't get all mushy on me now. I need a drink.
You been to Cliff recently? Get crushed under all that crap?
Helgi agreeing to testify is a great help.
Okay, you two, lay it on me. Did you find Helgi? Did he agree to testify?
Well, we've got good news and... well, that's it. Just more good news.
Okay. Does that mean he said yes? Wait, the bartender? Aren't we trying to convince people Helgi doesn't have a drinking problem? I appreciate the effort, but that might not have been the best choice. Well, you two have done all that you could. Now it's time to hand the baton off to me.
What do you think, Ellie? Do we have a chance?
You've done a pretty decent job gathering evidence for this case.
So what's the verdict? In this case, I'd say spoilers are appreciated.
I am cautiously optimistic we can win this case.
Optimism is good, especially from you, Ellie.
The main thing is we'll be able to clear Irvin's name. Of that, I have no doubt. As for charging Hephaestus with a crime and clearing Helgi, that's more of an uphill battle, but I'll see what I can do. All in all, though, really outstanding work. We wouldn't have gotten this far without your efforts. And I've got to imagine that wherever Irvin is, he appreciates it too.
Agreed, Ellie. And thanks for being our anchor in this. We should probably get out of Ellie's way and let her do her thing. We can talk more in private. Wow, we actually did it! Solved the case. And hopefully cleared Irvin's name. I feel like... what's the old saying? A great weight has been lifted off my shoulders? But it's actually true. I feel like I'm 80% biomass and 20% aerogel. Thanks. I was trying not to be too optimistic about our chances, because that's when a cosmic reversal kicks in. But I think it's okay in this case. We've already proven Irvin's innocence, and I trust Ellie to explain it. I'm feeling great. Although I could do with some wine and cheese. Why stop at emotional satisfaction when we can indulge in the culinary too? But if I can be serious for a moment, thank you. I couldn't have done this without your help. That makes two of us. 3 if you count Harvey. And who wouldn't? He's practically family. In fact, Harvey's got a little explorer in him too. According to this slate I found, turns out that our spiky friend's been all across the galaxy. You know what? He just might. But it's probably best you chart the course. Harvey doesn't do well with things that require hands. We've been through a lot, haven't we? I had forgotten what it was like to work with someone so closely. On top of everything else we've done together and with Constellation, yeah, I think so. Investigating Irvin's case with you is something I'll remember forever. I've come to realize that some events, some people, stand out as pillars of my life. Yes, some of them do. And if we're lucky, they change us for the better. We only get a brief moment in this universe to interact, to feel, to be who we are and experience the range of emotions that our bodies and minds have evolved to comprehend. And the definition of that changes for everybody. If one is fortunate, you might even notice events and people changing you while it is in motion. I know I certainly am. I've explored many worlds, and I've worked with Constellation for most of my life. I cherish those memories. But you have changed me as a person forever. I don't want to look back years from now and wonder what if. I need to know what you think about us. Here we are, the most fortunate people in the galaxy, because we get to explore it all together as friends. Take a break. Let's chat. See what's out there. Exploring the galaxy is hard work. Trust me, I know. But stop by sometime and let's talk. Just us adventurers, okay? I want to hear one of my stories? Or do you have one to tell me?